Brilliant Emotional Intelligence by Gil Hasson. Chapter 3. Beliefs and Assumptions about Emotions. Beliefs that make you believe it's wrong to experience, express, or have proper feelings and emotions can lead us to deal with them in unhelpful and inappropriate ways. Some examples include cutting yourself off from others or cutting other people out, talking about issues and facts rather than opinions and feelings, keeping conversations superficial to avoid getting deep, pretending it hasn't happened, avoiding or laughing it off, replacing it with some other emotion, for example, jealousy, overeating or reaching for a drink or drugs, work excessively, exercise compulsively. Buried emotions. When you try to ignore or deny an emotion or ignore someone else's, you miss the opportunity to understand what the emotion is trying to tell you. Buried emotions leak out in many ways. Passive-aggressive behavior, leaked emotions. This involves avoiding expressing how you feel, probably because you think direct expression of how you feel is wrong. However, this leaves the other person in control as you avoid saying what you feel and want. Examples include sarcasm, the silent treatment, dirty looks, manipulation and sabotage to get what you want or do what you want. Often it doesn't really work, and you probably don't realize you are behaving in such a manipulative way. Built-up emotions, not leaked. If an emotion doesn't leak out, it builds up to an accumulation of repressed feelings. In time, these emotions become distorted. Sadness leads to depression, and anger turns into hatred or resentment, eventually exploding into fits of rage and even violence. When you or someone else suddenly explodes in anger at something that seems relatively harmless and trivial, it is a sure sign he or she has been trying to repress their emotions, but the top has finally blown.
Brilliant Emotional Intelligence by Gil Hasson. Chapter 3. Beliefs and Assumptions about Emotions. Change your thinking. Positive thinkers recognize that all emotions have a positive intent. This allows you to feel more in control and believe there is some meaning behind feelings and emotions. As a result, you experience fewer negative emotions. Strategies to train your brain to think positively. Count your blessings and be grateful. When you count your blessings, you create positive neural pathways in your brain. If you have a pretty rubbish day, focus on positive small pleasures like the sun shining, a text from a friend, or something good you had to eat. After a while, it becomes second nature. Reflect before bed. People who identify and appreciate positive things every day sleep better. They think fewer negative thoughts and have more positive thoughts before going to sleep. Make an effort for a couple of weeks. Before going to bed, list 3 positive things that have happened to you. Identify and spend time with positive people in your life. Do kind acts for others. Identify your successes. Remind yourself of times when you managed emotions successfully in the past. This will help you manage them in the future. Use words that evoke strength. Make an effort to use positive words such as good, glad, kind, happy, and thrilled. Enjoy yourself. Engage in films, TV programs, music, exercise, sports, sunshine, or spending time in the country. Know what makes you feel positive and happy.
Brilliant Emotional Intelligence by Gil Hasson. Chapter 3. Beliefs and Assumptions about Emotions. Accepting emotions. Accept emotions like fear, anger, sadness, and joy, and realize they are pretty much normal. Once you are able to accept emotions as they are, you'll have a better basis for developing emotional intelligence. Accepting emotions. Exercise. The emotion has to be strong enough to be recognizable, but not so strong that it overwhelms you if you follow this step process. 1. Objectively look at your emotions. Take a step back. Do not label them as good or bad, simply feel and objectively observe. This is different from disassociating yourself from or denying them. It is simply seeing an emotion from a distance. 2. Identify the emotion. Pay attention to the sensations and thoughts. Can you give it a fair and objective observation? For example, feeling jealousy could be thought of as, envy and resentment are present. See it for what it is, without trying to get rid of it. Does it have a size, shape, and color? 3. Take a moment to reflect on the experience. Did the emotion feel different once you'd put some distance between you and it in some way? Try this every day for a couple of weeks and see if you notice changes in the way you think about your emotions. This exercise serves two purposes. It loosens the grip emotions have on you and allows you to view them as separate entities. It also tests out the belief that emotions will get out of control if you don't push them to one side. Recap. Write a thinking diary. How do your beliefs about emotions lead to unhelpful negative behavior? Reflect on what you think about situations and how your thoughts about your feelings make you feel and behave. The more you're aware, the more likely you'll be able to change and avoid falling into the trap of negative thinking. Don't focus only on negative emotions like frustration and disappointment. Identify those that make you feel good too.